National Mental Illness Awareness Week, and this affects more people than you might think. About half of us will be diagnosed with a mental disorder at some point in our life. Depression, anxiety, and addiction are among the more common, and sometimes they can be rooted in grief. Felicia Glass is a licensed grief counselor. We are always honored to have you visit us here, Felicia.
Always an honor to be here.
You know, raising awareness of mental illness is really the first step in getting help for so many people out there. How do we know? I mean, nobody wants to think, ooh, I have mental illness. It must mean something large and dramatic. But when we talk about things like depression, anxiety, they are very real. And at their core, they're a mental illness.
Absolutely. So it's important that people understand that it's not a mental illness until it begins to interfere in our ability to function daily. And so all of us truly have some baseline of all of the things, right? We all experience some level of sadness, some level of anxiety or fear or whatever it may be. But the reality is that when those issues begin to interfere in our ability to function day to day, then we need to reassess. And so I always start with the first conversation should happen between you and your primary care physician. Sure, there are lots of online things that you can look at and explore, but oftentimes people go diving into a deep hole. So what I want to do is encourage people to start with their primary care. Let's get that self-assessment done in the office and start talking about our level of need.
They're there to care for all of you, physical health and mental health. Mental
All
health
of
is
you.
health, right? How does grief play a role in that? Because I think that when you say it interferes with your life, well, goodness, at the very early stages of grief, most of us do feel like it's impacting our life, and that's all we can focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's important for people to understand that grief isn't just about the death of someone, but it could be simply all the changes that are happening in our life. A move, a divorce, a change in the family system, children going away for college. All of those things can create grief and loss. The medical part of it is when we cannot get back to routine, and then we're looking at how do I get the support that I need to start reassessing my future, right? And how do I regain routine in my day?
Now, I know you've always said that everybody processes grief differently.
Yep.
Everyone's journey is going to be different. So how do you know when you aren't returning to normal, or this is going to be a new normal? You know what I mean? Where is that line between when you might need somebody to help you along the journey?
Yeah, so I talk about if we're not meeting our ADLs, our daily living skills, right? So if I'm not getting up, getting myself ready for the day, if I'm not eating very well, if I am unable to work or get through the day, like 75% of the day at least, without crying or being overly emotional, I really need to reassess whether or not I'm functioning, meaning am I getting things done? Am I completing tasks? Am I able to move forward day to day? And I often talk about we all are different people after we lose a person or when we encounter life-changing situations. It can rearrange us, but we should be able to pick up and start a new normal. When we find that we're unable to do that, it's a time to maybe meet with someone.
You have workshops periodically that talk about all of this. There's one coming up this coming weekend.
Absolutely.
You still have a few slots available for it.
Just four.
Oh,
I checked this afternoon. 4 slots are open.
So what can we expect if we think, gosh, maybe this might be something I want to learn more about? What are you going to do during this retreat?
Yes, so this retreat is truly a healing session. So we're going to have myself offering grief movement. So it's really grief yoga, where we're doing expressive breath work to remove energies that are negative or holding us back. Alicia Saucedo will be there, and she's going to do an actual breath work session. So again, totally focusing on self and inward healing. And then we're going to have some expressive art with Aisha Sanan, who's going to be there to help us do artwork. So this is not your typical sit down, let's talk about what happened. Let's look at self and how our body is functioning and begin to heal.
And then taking action too through the art and all of that. I love it. I love it.
Right.
If you'd like to learn more, it's called the Release the Grief, a retreat focused on healing. It's from 1 to 4 this Sunday at the Beacon, which is right downtown near the State House on 9th Street. Registration is $125, and you can go to thegriefcounselor.com if you'd like to learn more about it and about all of Felicia's work. I also have the link posted. It will be posted on WIBW.com as well. Come ready to move and feel and experience.
Absolutely. And so I'll also add, this is pregnancy and infant loss week starting the 9th. And so if there happens to be a mom who is listening today who would like to attend the conference but feels like she's unable to, reach out to me through the website, and I will be happy to sponsor that seat for you.
All right. You heard it here from Felicia. Thank you. Always a joy to see you.
Always.
Appreciate it. Find out how you can honor the memory of a little girl and raise awareness of an important issue.